By PC Pod or Pad, you are listening to Paid to Play. I am Rob Farkey, your host for this exploration of the dangerous idea that bringing your whole self, especially the bits of you that you worry make you seem silly, geeky or odd, into your income-generating life is one of the best things you can do. It might not be easy, but it's easier than we think and even fear. And with the help of my guest for this episode, I would like to show you how. If you remember episode 69, when I chatted with Shana of Ever After Parties, the lady who turned cosplay into a paying business by doing children's parties as princesses from major animated movies, you will have heard her mention this lady quite a few times in glowing terms. Twerkin Gherkin is perhaps a relative newcomer to the local cosplay scene, but her name has been getting about like wildfire. She's become a mainstay of the regional cosplay scene. She makes an effort to attend every major capital city convention in Australia. And not only that, she is one of the founding members of Shana's business, Ever After Parties, and was pretty much her first her first employee. As well as bringing a smile to children's faces, Twerkin also makes a little bit of money from her cosplay by doing print sales, and she has also become an invited guest of several local conventions. It is an absolute pleasure to have her on the show, and getting her on finally completes my collection of the Tropicon trilogy of cosplayers. Thank you very much, Twerkin, for coming on the Paid to Play podcast.
No problem, Rob.
So, imagine for a second that at the end of this show, I award you with a magic ticket, which grants you some time to go and do something that you've been looking forward to getting back into doing, and an unlimited amount of time to do it in. What would be on your shortlist?
I'd probably just make some more costumes, to be honest. Time's a bit of a strain when it comes to coming to conventions, and they all just seem to be all together, so getting the actual time to get your outfits together is always something that I stress about. It's insane.
Anything that you're working on right at the moment?
Currently, as we are speaking, I'm making cat ears, actually.
So, are they for anything in any particular character specifically, or?
Well, they're not actually for me, Rob. I'm doing some commissions for, it's a clubbing event called Nico Nation, and that's on tomorrow, when this comes out, it'll be on last week or whatever.
Exactly.
But, it's a dressing up clubbing event that this is the second time I'm going, and, I decided to make a few things for people.
Okay, and if I've understand it right, Nico Nation, from the sounds of it, is kind of a cat girl cosplay party?
Yeah, pretty much.
In case you're wondering, folks, cat girls are kind of a mainstay of anime or Japanese cartoons. Svelte lasses usually with cat ears as well as their regular ears and tails. So I can only imagine what a scene tomorrow night is going to be at Nico Nation.
Yeah.
And I will have to make a note of that as well, cosplay commissions. So tell me, when did you first discover the joy of cosplay, Twerkin?
Oh, well, I've been doing cosplay for about, it's 2016 now, 6 years.
So that bit about the relative newcomer I mentioned, not so much, actually.
Well, yeah, I've only started getting, not really noticed, just started getting okay at it. But I really first started noticing cosplay when I was, really young. I'd always loved Hamtaro and Sailor Moon and all that jazz growing up. And, when I was in about 7th grade, I guess, I started watching these, cosplay videos on YouTube and stuff, and what really, really pushed me into cosplay was one group called Parley Productions, and, they do Kingdom Hearts videos, and I, at the time, loved Kingdom Hearts, so I was like, whoa, they're dressed as Demix and Axel, holy heck, what the heck, and yeah, I was just like, if they can do this, I could totally do this. And yeah, I pretty much just went from there.
Fantastic. Sad to say, I never got to play the Kingdom Hearts games because unfortunately I was PlayStation denied at around about that age. But I'm really bummed about missing out on Kingdom Hearts 2 because from what I understand, Tron had a guest appearance in that one.
So good. It is so good.
So, you discovered the YouTube videos of Parley Productions. So, how did that kind of inspire you? How long was it before you first started, making your own costume after that?
Well, I did a lot of, we call it cosplays, so pretty much you just have it in your closet and you're like, whoa, that kind of looks like a character, and you wear it and you're like, hey, look at me. And I did that pretty much straight away after I discovered it. But my mum actually made a lot of my first outfits, and when I say a lot, I mean all of them. So yeah, thanks, Mum.
Aren't we lucky when we actually have a parental relative who indulges us in our loves that much?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So what were those early days like? I mean, from the sounds of it, was it just hanging out with friends or going to parties? Because I think at the very least, Supernova has been going for at least a decade. I'm sure it was going a little bit before I left Sydney back in 2005. But were you starting to, attend conventions in costume, or was it just something that you did with your friends in those days?
Well, I actually did all of those. I went to conventions, I went to cosplay meetups, which is basically just a little convention, like just hanging out with your friends in public, dressed in out costumes, and just all that jazz.
Mm.
And Supernova was crazy. It blew my mind.
Just meeting so many other people who shared your passion, or
seeing just how amazingly constructed these people were, like wearing these costumes, and I was like, whoa. How did they do that?
Yeah.
I felt so tiny and weird. I was like, oh geez, I'm not even wearing a wig. And this chick's got like a whole giant pole on her head. I don't know what's going on. Where am I? Yeah.
God, you would almost think it would be the other way around. I mean, I know people who sort of look at the work that folks like Yaya Han and what have you crank out on a regular basis and sort of go, that's really weird. That person must have so much free time on their hands. You've probably heard it a few times. But, I mean, to actually, have it the other way around where, you feel weird when, on the other hand, it would seem like, you're not being quite weird enough,
Basically, yeah, it was crazy.
So, from the sounds of it, they kind of, they inspired you to up your game a little bit. You weren't,
oh, definitely.
Yeah, you weren't immediately put off and thought, right, that's it, I'm giving this up and going home and...
No, actually, they were all, everyone was just so friendly, and the cosplay community has actually changed quite a lot since I first started. I've noticed this, but everyone was just so willing to share their tips and little ways to make yourself better that it was just, if I had joined the scene today, whereas 6 years ago, I would not have been where I am right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank the community that I grew up with. That, yeah, they have really, they pushed it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So when was the first time you perhaps realised that there was the potential for people to actually pay you to indulge in this hobby?
Well, I really got noticed in 2013 when I did my TARDIS dress, and what I'd actually done was just bought a really cool dress online and then found this amazing website called Spoonflower where you can get custom fabrics. And so I got those two things, put it together, made a TARDIS dress, did not realize how popular Doctor Who was. And from that, I'd gone to Supernova, and then we actually started counting how many steps I could take without someone actually stopping us for a picture. I was just like, I don't know what's happening right now, but hello. And so after Supernova, I made a cosplay page, Twerkin Gherkin, and it was because I got so many friend requests after that, and I was like, I can't. That's not safe online. Don't add people you don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it my page, and just so many people appreciated my work from there, and I was just like, what? It was baffling. Yeah.
Did you find yourself in that opposite position from where you were a few years before, where you had people coming to you and asking you how you did it? And
I did. I was just like, I have no idea. Whoa, probably something. I've done something, and you obviously like it. I don't know how to help you. I am so sorry.
So then, what was, I guess, the first cosplay gig you had? Was it ever after parties or a similar princess-themed entertainment business kind of thing?
It was, yeah. The gig-related stuff is more recent, within the last 2-3 years. And that was actually with Shana, the first place we were at. And I don't like name-dropping them because they were horrible.
Well, then, please don't feel any pressure to. That's no worries.
Oh, they're no longer around. I'm no longer worried.
Well.
But they were a character business a lot like Shana's Beautiful Ever After parties. And what people don't tend to realize is when you're going to have a child's party business is it's not just getting a costume, getting a wig, throwing it on a person and sending them out. It is having the money and the time to get a good quality costume, a good quality wig. You need to source good actors and actresses. You need to face cast so these people actually look like the characters, that they can become the character and essentially just make this child's childhood magical. But that's not what this company did. And they did not worry about makeup. They got $50 costumes, which some of you might be like, oh, whoa, $50. For a princess, $50 is not a decent quality costume.
No.
So, yeah, we went there. I did about 3 or 4 parties there. And then Shana broke off with her own company, and I was like, I am coming with you. Please take me there. And, yeah, that's how it got started with the earning side of it, yeah.
So, yeah, from the sounds of it, it was those first few months to year were definitely an uphill learning experience. So,
oh, definitely.
So, what was it like? I guess going from what sounds like, at least if nothing else, if you can say nothing else about it, it was, I suppose, an established business, to actually branching out with Shana and creating something, or at least being there while something new was created from scratch. And, Shana was, I would say from the sounds of things, learning a lot as she went. What was that experience like?
Well, the place before Shana's they were 2 grown women who had full-time jobs, and they were like, yeah, this is just a side business we don't really care about. And then going from that to seeing a girl who is highly dedicated to something that she's creating. Shana was actually in high school when she made her business. And just seeing someone so passionate about that she wanted to put the time and effort into her outfits and her company, that it was amazing. Everyone starts out somewhere. So I had my Snow White costume. Shana had, she got Elsa and Anna first, because those are obviously the most popular princesses at the moment. But she's constantly updating the quality of her outfits, and just, she didn't actually start at a low point, I guess, because the lowest we were was the place before that, and seeing how everything they've done wrong, she didn't really have to learn that way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's just, you have to be passionate about something to make it work. And that's a lot of the times with costumes itself, just love the character you're doing.
So, Ever After took off.
Yes.
It is still going as a business. I know that they did a whopping great Christmas party at the end of last year, which looked like it was one heck of an awesome thing. So, so yes, how is that going for you at the moment?
It's going really well, actually. We have an event tomorrow. There's a little boy this is his second birthday that we're attending. His name's Kalen, and he has an event for his birthdays. I can't remember the exact details, but he's a very special little boy, and yes, we're going to his birthday tomorrow. I'll be attending as Ariel, actually, and it's just going to be such a fun day. But yeah, going strong.
Fantastic. So you've got this as well as Neko Nation tomorrow.
I do,
from the sounds of it.
Going straight from the birthday, home to get ready, then to the club.
Now, Shana did mention one thing during our chat at the end of last year about you and your approach to Ever After. She mentioned that you actually prefer to do the charity meet and greets rather than... Can you tell me a little bit more about what makes those different from the regular kids' parties and events that you attend, and what is it that makes them for you more, more something that you'd prefer to do?
Okay, so this is going to sound very weird. Well, not weird, but just, it's not going to sound right. The difference between children's actual booked paid getting parties and the charity events are these parents that are booking the parties are very wealthy people. Shauna's princess parties aren't cheap, but you pay for what you get, and she has the utmost quality. So these children have the world already, and they're just like, oh, look, a princess is here, yeah, that's cool, whatever. They do appreciate it. I'm not saying that they don't, but it's just they can obviously have this luxury often.
Yeah.
Charity event. Oh, and there's also the pressure to perform to your utmost 100% because, these people have forked out a lot of money for your performance. Whereas the charity events, there are children who don't get to see princesses every day. You're doing it for a good cause, and of course you perform to your 100%, but it's just, it makes you feel good that you can raise either, whether it be money, awareness, just for all these amazing causes that you can help people. And the fact that princesses are doing it, you would want to donate to a good cause and a princess. It's just, to me, it makes you just feel really good about yourself and knowing that you can help these people.
Yeah. It's almost like the amount of magic you're already surrounded by. I mean, from what you're saying, you've got kids who are basically kind of already living an A-game lifestyle, so you need to bring your A-game to impress them anyway. Whereas, you are performing with the charity events to youngsters who don't have a lot of magic already in their lives, who, don't have those advantages, and who you were just going to light up almost so much more.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So, when did you get the idea to experiment with opening a print store?
Well, I had a lot of people asking me, saying, oh, Twerkin Gherkin, where can I get a print of this? And I was like, to me, I didn't feel, and I still don't really feel that I'm on the level to have a print store, so I don't actually have it open quite often. I do give away prints for giveaways, because obviously these people are following me and would like these things. I bring prints to conventions because I just don't want to come empty-handed, but yeah, no, it's still so crazy for me. Like, Evie, she's so popular that she has the amount of people that are constantly asking her for prints, and I've been an admin on her page once or twice before, and just seeing the messages she gets is insane. So the demand is definitely behind most of the reasons for print stores.
Yeah, yeah.
But so yeah, I didn't really have an idea of it. I was just like, oh, well, you people want this.
So, just pretty much meeting the demand from the sound.
Yeah. Supply and demand.
Yeah. Do you find that, as well as, limiting the amount of work that you need to put into something that, from the sounds of it, you're not quite 100% behind yourself, but limiting the amount of time it's open, does it help you actually manage the print side of the business a bit better?
Well, yeah, I find so. And having new content is always good, I find. So being able to have that turnover of, hey, I've had this for a while, so I'm going to put new prints up, and just, yeah, I find it's better and easier.
Yeah. How does that pressure to actually make sure that you've got something new, I guess, every time that you open the print store, how does that, I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to ask here, but I guess, how does that, for want of a better word, complicate the cosplay for you as a hobby, that extra pressure that, from the sounds of it, you're doing it for the sheer fun anyway, so you're always going to be looking for new challenges, and as soon as you fall in love with an anime or a movie or something else, you're probably going to be hankering to cosplay anyway. But is there that sense of pressure to be coming up with something new on a regular basis? Does it have any sort of negative effects on how you appreciate your own hobby, your own passion?
Well, I have that pressure to always better myself and have more costumes there to show the people that follow me. I don't like calling them fans because to me it just feels very up myself, but the people who follow my work on my page, I always want to give them bigger and better things, but I'm still improving my sewing and crafting skills. I will be for a long time. But the pressure is definitely there, but I don't have that so much with prints. A print store is not often what I have up, but I do have that pressure for like upcoming photo shoots and all this thing to have nice prints to bring to conventions with me, because I do know that people do travel to come see me. And to have that there for these people is that is a huge amount of pressure. To a feeling of pressure, yeah.
Well, look, on the subject of conventions, I was, of course, lucky to meet you at Tropicon last year. Was that the first...
So sorry.
Was that the first time that you'd ever actually been an invited guest at a convention?
Second time, actually.
Well, tell me about time number one, then.
Time number one was very, very different to Tropicon. That was, sorry, blanked out for a second. My first one was actually Level Up. They're in Coffs Harbour, run by a darling team. I love them so much. I'm actually going back... Don't know the date, but I'm going back this year sometime. Last year was their first convention such as Tropicon. And, it's a nice little convention in Coffs Harbour in Sydney. And, it's very nice there.
So
it was very different to Tropicon.
I can only imagine. I presume for a start they actually had air conditioning?
They didn't.
No, they didn't. My God.
But it was a smaller. Oh, actually, I don't think the venue was smaller. They were around the same size, but it was well ventilated, and they had Quidditch.
Ah, fantastic.
Instantly better. Sorry.
Well, look, I'm not going to complain. It was for what it was fun.
Yes.
But out of interest. With a name like Level Up, from the sounds of it, it was kind of... did it have a video game sort of focus, or was it just a general pop
It was
culture
just
event?
a very nerdy event.
So, on the general paid-to-play spectrum at the moment, where would cosplay sort of fit? I mean, from the sounds of it, it's definitely not a full-time job at the moment, but
No.
is it at least, are you sort of earning enough to cover expenses, or is it just sort of at least giving you a bit of extra cash that you can put toward it that you wouldn't otherwise have?
Yeah, it's a bit of a, it's like pocket money. I'm getting blah, blah, blah. I'm getting to... Certainly not getting paid enough for speech lessons.
Well.
I've gone mind blank.
So you were basically saying that at the moment it's giving you some extra pocket money.
Yeah. It's a little hobby I've got, and it's amazing that people like it enough of what I'm doing to want to put money towards that. I find it insane.
And say, Biatch, we must have you at our next con. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to come up to Townsville? Oh, okay. We'll pay for your flights. Oh, all right.
Yes, you're looking around going, for God's sake, someone pinch me. I must be dreaming. This is not happening.
Yeah. Well, the convention I'm actually referring to right now, Magneticon, they're in July. So I had to think about that again. But the girls organizing it are fantastic people. They're just two wonderful, lovely sisters. Their whole family is beautiful, and I am just so excited for this upcoming convention.
Fantastic. So, generally, do you have any kind of long-term, big-time goals at the moment? Do you have any ambitions as to where, if possible, you would like to take cosplay, or just anything else that's going on in your life? Do you have anything, anywhere you'd like to get to? See, everyone stumbles over their own words, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, really, surprisingly enough, I don't want to get to Jessica Negri and Yaya Han's level of cosplay. I find after a certain time it loses the aspect of a hobby and becomes more of something that you feel you have to do, and you have to always have bigger and better costumes because you've got these followers who are just demanding it, and it's crazy. The amount of pressure these people have to perform is just intense, and I do not want that.
Yeah.
This is a fun little hobby I have, and it's just something I love, and the fact that people are behind me and appreciating the things that I'm doing that I love it's just amazing. So, yeah, I'm pretty content where I am right now.
Fantastic. Are there, I hate asking the question that grown-ups, for some stupid reason, always like asking their kids about, what do you want to be when you grow up? But, rather than perhaps focusing on just one thing, are there perhaps a few things that you would like to perhaps do as some sort of combined income thing that as a total would, pay all of your bills and allow you to at least, generally do what you love as opposed to having to buckle down to somebody else's 9 to 5?
Well, I'd actually love to take a friggity-do. I'd love to learn how to speak. I'd love to take what is it called? A gun to the head. No, oh my gosh.
What sort of thing are we talking about?
Makeup. Cinematographic makeup.
Yeah. I guess that pretty much sums it up. A movie makeup course, special effects makeup kind of thing?
Special effects, there we go. I would love to do a special effects makeup course. With most things in life, I'm self-taught, and I love makeup. It's just something I really love, and then to be taught it professionally would be a dream of mine. Yeah. But another thing I'd also love to do is I would love to be an actress. So I guess these are also other things that help contribute to my cosplay, that my slight knowledge of movie makeup and then acting. I actually have a long-term cosplay goal of mine where the movie The Labyrinth.
Yes.
Something I grew up watching. But the fieries in it actually terrified me. And for those of you who aren't actually sure what the fieries are, they're the scary little crew that take off their heads and try to take off Sarah's head and just crazy Jim Henson things. But I would absolutely love to cosplay as a fiery. I've got my designs all up. I just need the skill acquired behind it to make this soul. So you can look forward to that in the very far future.
No worries. Now, there was one thing I perhaps wanted to touch on a little bit that you did mention earlier on. You sort of talked a little bit about how the cosplay community has changed a little bit since you first got into it. I feel like I am kind of inviting you to get into a bit of trouble here. And
that's all right.
I don't want you to basically, hang shit on people or anything like that. But
I'm going to knock all of you out. All right, here we go.
Generally, what is your impression of the current scene? And I guess what would you have to say to anyone who's sort of discovered their love of cosplay for themselves and is kind of reaching out to make new friends, etc.?
Well, that Evie Dantes bitch needs to put some clothes on, first of all. But, no, I find back then, 6 years ago, cosplay was more of a construction thing where it was all crafty, and it might have been as bitchy as it is now. I just wasn't friends with the people to see it, but with online growing so much popularity, it's the age of the internet. Basically, just people will say whatever they feel they want to say, and a lot of the time, if you're a new cosplayer and you put up a photo that you think is really good, and you haven't got these skills of sewing, you've altered an outfit, it's a closet costume, and then someone will just find this photo and 9 times out of 10 they will tear you apart.
Yeah.
Cosplay, I find these days, it's more for popularity. It's not so much as for yourself anymore. And it's just, it's one big old popularity contest. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I find cosplay is a lot more intimidating nowadays than I do from back then.
I mean, I think we both mentioned, of course, Yaya Han and Jessica Negri. I mean, it's almost like multiplying that holy crap, who are these people, and I feel so inferior before them factor by a power of 10, and now they've with the growth of the internet, they now have global audiences, so it's like it would be very easy for someone to basically see a novice cosplayer's work and toss off a casual, dismissive, you're no Yaya Han or whatever, and have that person sort of go,
it's all comparative.
Yeah, and have that person go, Yaya Han, who's Yaya Han? Until the YAYA space HAN enter. Oh my god, why did I even bother trying? It's just, yeah.
It's really, if you want to get somewhere with your costumes and you're going to make a page in this, it's really about the persona you put out there. So, for me, I always compare it back to my idol of everything, Marilyn Monroe. Now, she was not who the media saw her as. She was a completely different person. And I'm like that with Twerkin Gherkin, the girl behind that. Nothing like that. People see me as this energetic, crazy ball of freaking everything. But, if you want to become big with your costumes, you need to be nice. You can't just be like, oh, whatever, fuck off.
Yeah.
Meeting Yaya Han at Comic-Con, she is just the loveliest person ever. You can ask her about her costume. You can ask her how she's constructed things, and she'll be like, oh, yeah, easy, I did this, and this. And the fact that she's actually putting out patterns and making fabrics now, she's an old-time cosplayer in the most respectful way, where she does rely on her crafts. Yeah. And I'm not saying Jessica Negri does not. I'm not comparing the two. Jessica Neary's outfits are amazing, and her construction is fantastic. But the fact that Yaya is putting out these patterns and a way to more old school cosplay where willing to help everyone is just fantastic.
Now, as we're winding up, I'm going to put you on the spot once again here. And I should have thought to actually mention this to you at the outset, so my apologies. If there were 3 things that you wish that perhaps someone had told you at the start, that would have made your journey into getting paid to cosplay and its, attendant aspects a little bit easier, that you think might help someone who is now where you were back then, what would those 3 things be?
Probably more having quality over quantity. You could have a million costumes and produce them all in a night, and it would not look good as over one costume that you've spent months on. Just don't rush things, take it easy, give yourself the time to make these outfits, don't leave things to the last minute if you can avoid it. That's a big thing I wish people would have told me. Second thing is, it's expensive. Cosplay is so very expensive. It doesn't have to be, but 9 times out of 10 it is.
Yeah.
And the third thing, really, those are just the main 2.
Okay, no worries. And look, I don't know how we got through an entire chat with you, Twerkin Gherkin, without touching on, I think, the character whom you are most... The character for whom you are, I think, best known.
Definitely.
Tell us about Harley Quinn and how much you absolutely love her as a character. I mean, for a start, if people are
I
listening to
lost
this,
you, Rob.
Oh, can you hear me? Have you got me still?
Okay, I got you.
Fantastic. Okay, so if someone listening to this, and actually, speaking of losing me, you'll have to excuse me. I've got a dog nudging at the office door, and I better go open it before he breaks it down. Hang on again. Oh, horror.
Pat him for me.
Oh, both of you. All right, monsters. Settle. Settle, you. Thank you. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but they've decided to come up and be with Daddy for a little bit. So, okay, so for someone who's listening to this podcast and they've just heard this name, Harley Quinn, and is going... Who? Tell us who this character is.
Harley Quinn is a precious baby that needs to be protected at all costs and is my wife. I love her. No, Harley Quinn is a villain from the DC Comics franchise, and she was originally the Joker's sidekick. He was her everything. He was her pudding. And the new 52 comics, actually, she's not with the Joker. She's actually with Ivy, which is amazing. And she's just a big ball of psychotic fun. So I just love her.
Yeah, for some odd reason, especially the way some of the comics, I've seen her portrayed in some of the covers of her own series and what have you. I kind of think of her as Abby from NCIS turned up to 11.
Oh, yes.
As if Abby from NCIS wasn't, with a psychotic streak. There's just, the way she looks on some of those covers with her really big eyes and this just sort of frenetic expression on her face. I look and I think, yeah, I can see Paulie Perrette playing this girl,
She is a huge animal lover as well.
No, I remember actually growing up with Batman the Animated Series after the first few Batman movies with Michael Keaton came out, and just sort of going, holy crap, wow, this stuff is great. And all of a sudden, we'd of course known about the Joker for ages, and then there was this, this character, this gangster's mole, if you know what I mean, complete with the New York accent and what have you, going goo-goo eyes at him all the time, and And I remember when they actually sort of introduced this girl buddy thing with Ivy and them ending an episode when I don't think they were in Arkham, but they were in a prison or something, and Ivy had sort of kind of tried to prove how capable Harley was without the Joker, and then Harley got sort of this wistful expression on her face and said something about how, I wonder if he's missing me right now, and gets a bloody trowel full of dirt in her face for it.
Yes.
Oh.
So, I'll still love my pudding.
Yeah. So it seems like you've done a few Harley costumes. You've done that classic
I have.
Full body Harlequin court jester outfit and a few others. I mean, do you? And I always feel semi-guilty about asking cosplayers because it's kind of like asking them to play favourites amongst your kids. But do you have a particular Harley costume or costumes that you enjoy the most? That
of course I have a favourite. I would be the type of mum being like, oh, this is Billy. Billy's a dick. This is Jimmy. Jimmy is a sweet prince. If you can't tell, my clear favourite is always Animated Adventures Harley. I'm actually working on the new 52 Harley right now, and I like it, but she will never, ever stand a chance against Animated Harley.
And are you looking forward to Suicide Squad when that comes out?
I am. When the first few sneak peeks of Harley was released, I had a heap of people messaging me on my page being like, oh, Twerkin Gherkin, how do you feel about Margot Robbie? And I feel like they were actually expecting a bad reaction from me. And I was like, I love her. Shut your mouths. But the thing people need to remember is these characters will always be portrayed differently. Like, the Joker, he has never been the same in 2 movies.
No.
Batman, he's always different in some way or another. The suit will never be the same. But Harley Quinn, this is her first big movie. And Suicide Squad is actually, obviously, based on the Suicide Squad comic books.
Yeah.
One huge issue people had with her was the pink and blue hair and stuff, and it was blue instead of black. It is actually blue in the Suicide Squad books. So I think that's hilarious. But no, I think Margot Robbie's portrayal of Harley is adorable. The one thing I would have changed would have been the Brooklyn accent. She should have had a thicker accent, but no, I think she's adorable.
No, funnily enough, I've not been really following the DC crop of movies since, I haven't even seen Man of Steel. I'm just not bothered with it.
No.
Don't bother?
Well, as crazy as it sounds, I've only ever seen the older Batman movies. The newer ones, not seen as a thing. Yeah. Not seen any Superman movies. No.
I quite like The Dark Knight, especially with, speaking of the Joker, Heath Ledger. That was a brilliant and very unique twist on the character of the Joker, and I, sort of sat there going, holy wow, as I think everybody else did. But, I don't know.
The opposite stance, Rob. I did not like his portrayal of the Joker. I did not like how they made the Joker in that. No.
I think I do get what, I hope I do get what you mean, and, it almost seems like the Joker has to be this, the character from the comic books, and I guess to a certain extent, the Batman from the 60s does really come to mind as that absolutely out there, always laughing, always energetic, always smiling, just,
He's always happy.
Yeah.
Whereas, so that's what I thought was weird. He wasn't that, from what I've seen, because I haven't actually seen the movie, but from the trailers and such, he didn't seem that happy. He just seemed like a menacing little shit.
Yeah, let's face it, that is kind of pretty much how it worked. He was more of a straight up anarchist. He had more of an agenda rather than just
unorganized chaos.
Yeah, I will say right at the end, the last scenes that he was in, I think when, the relationship between he and Batman kind of, in a way, finally crystallized, we really kind of finally saw that Joker that perhaps maybe everyone was kind of hoping he'd be from the beginning. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been seeing all these trailers, and the Zack Snyder kind of take on DC. It just didn't quite interest me. I just thought, no, this doesn't look like my thing. I don't think I'll give it a go.
A lot of people are actually doing a whole Deadpool thing with it, where they're like, oh my god, it's going to be so good. I don't know. I guess if you put your standards way up there, it's just going to disappoint you. So just calm down with the hype. I know it's hard, but just let it come as it is.
Yeah. Deadpool, I won't mind catching up with when it comes out on video. At the moment, I'm kind of in that situation where the disposable income's limited enough where it's sort of like, unless I know I'm really keen on it from the outset, I'll be, I can wait. I mean, it looks Deadpool from what I've heard and from what I see, it looks like really gonzo kind of fun. But I'm sort of like,
oh my god, the movie is beautiful.
I might be missing out on.
You were missing out so much. Ryan Reynolds himself, the actor who plays Deadpool, actually took over as producer to make sure that they did not fuck up this movie. He took home a suit of it. It's just that it's Deadpool. It's not anything more, anything less. It's pure, unrated. It's Deadpool. Yeah. They didn't try and make him beautiful. They didn't try and censor him. It's perfect.
I mean, I've got to admit, I'm not a huge Deadpool fan from out front, but being able to hang out at a comic book store, I've sort of gathered enough about him by osmosis to basically look at the trailers and go, okay, I mean, that looks pretty much what I understand the concept of the character to be.
The only thing I'm not looking forward to with the release of the Deadpool movie is Deadpool cosplayers.
Yeah, I think a lot of people...
all and every cosplayer, but a lot of Deadpool cosplayers tend to be dicks.
Yes, and... Yeah, they can use the, but I'm just playing to characters,
I'll elaborate on this. I love you all. But if you're going to come up to me and be a complete retard... and then blame it that you are acting in character, I probably will slap you. Just
or
don't be a dick and blame it on your character.
I was about to say, or worse if you happen to be in Harley Quinn outfit and have that hammer with you.
Oh, yeah. It's LARP safe, so I can do that.
Oh, right, okay. So, we've mentioned already a few of the conventions that you are going to be at, but tell me your convention schedule as far as it's nailed down, if you've got it handy, and also where can people come and find you now after hearing this episode and they want to find out more about you and perhaps buy a print and if they can.
Well, I can't give you dates because I don't know them. I'll post it on my page though, but my schedule, not quite in order, is Gold Coast Supernova, which is coming up very soon, within a month. I won't be guesting there. Most of these I'm not guesting at. Then there is Level Up, which is in Coffs Harbour. And then there is Magneticon, which is in Townsville. I know that's on July the 2nd. Shoot me if I'm wrong. Then there's Sydney Supernova and Brisbane Supernova. And somewhere between that is Oz Comic Con in Brisbane. I'm a very Brisbane-based gal. That's where I live. But the places where you can get prints from me will be Magneticon and Level Up.
No worries. Okay, I tell you what, let me see if I can give you a hand for those folks who are sitting out there with pen and pencil poised. I actually wound up, for another reason, putting together a con schedule. So let's see, Supernova Gold Coast, you said you're going to be at?
Yes.
Okay, so that's April 8th to 10th for you fine folks who are looking. And what was the next one?
Level Up.
Which here we go. Haven MNC. I actually had to look this one up on the web. Cosplay competition. Have they actually got some dates? No, they're last year's event. That's last year's date. So
that's okay. I'll post it for you, darlings.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the next big one that you're going to be at?
Magneticon.
Which
July the 2nd.
Yep, July the 2nd and 3rd, so that's going to be a
and
full
3rd, whoops.
weekend thing. None in between, none of the June events elsewhere, or...?
Oh, there's a Sid Nova on June the 19th, I think.
Yep, 17th to 19th.
Oh, 17th to 19th. I just know that because it's before my birthday.
Let's see, then there's a couple, there are a couple of Oz Comic Cons in September. Sydney, that's right, Oz Comic Con Brisbane, which is the 17th to the 18th. And then are you going to be at Brisnova?
I will, that is my home con.
Alright, so track Twerkin Gherkin down there in a nice way, please. No stalking.
Please
and no
don't
dickery.
stalk me.
On November the 11th to 13th, that's 3... Are you going to be there for the 3 full days? You probably will, won't you?
Oh, I'm always there. Oh. That's like every Supernova, I will be there the full 3 days. I can actually give you my lineup for Gold Coast Nova as it's coming up.
Oh, okay. So what are you going to be bringing to Supernova Gold Coast on April the 8th to 10th?
So on the Friday, I will be doing a South Park group with Evie Dantes and a little G. And I think we have a few other people, but I will be doing the Coon and Friends, but a female version. I will be the Coon himself, Cartman. The second day on Saturday, I will be bringing out the new 52 Harley, and then on the third day, I will be being Muffet from Undertale, hopefully.
Right.
For those of you who don't know who Muffet is, she is a beautiful little spider. She loves baking, and she has 6 arms, so I have to make that.
Oh boy, that sounds like it's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Puppeteering.
I'm just trying to think. Was it Evie who actually, didn't she do something recently that had a spider outfit, like a League of Legends character or something?
No.
Or was that somebody else? Could have been.
Probably somebody else.
Yeah. All right then. So that's pretty much your convention lineup. And did we talk about your online presences? I mean, we've mentioned that you're on Facebook. So.
Oh yeah. Facebook is Twerkin Gherkin. Instagram is Twerkin Gherkin. So Twerk. GHERKQUINN for Harley Quinn. And then Snapchat is just Twerkin Gherkin. Basically, anything online, if you search up Twerkin Gherkin and there's a social media for it, I will probably be there. Except for Instagram.
All right then. Well, Twerkin Gherkin, thank you very much for coming on the Paid to Play podcast.
No
it has been
problem.
It has been fantastic chatting with you about your love of cosplay and catching up with you. So all the best for the 2016 convention calendar, and may many good things be coming to you.
Thank you, Rob.